Yeah. Welcome back to the second segment of the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show right here on the Big Game Christian Sports Network. It's your boy Willie Epting Jr. Holding down, man, rolling solo, man. The family is not with me. No Mike Martinez, no Natalie Turk, no Rachel Hill, no Marshawn Powers, no Coach Donnie Ecker. It's just me and me alone. Thank you guys out there for checking us out on YouTube Live as well as Twitter and the all brand new Shakeback Media Group Roku TV network. Thank you guys out there for rolling with your boy, man. To the dopest engineer on the planet, Big Dave. What's going on, baseball fans all over the globe? You already know what it is, just in case you missed it in the first segment. Kudos, big ups, milestones to Miguel Cabrera as well as Clayton Kershaw. Clayton Kershaw becoming the all-time leading strikeout pitcher in the history of the Los Angeles Dodgers. Miguel Cabrera, the second or third best, or I should say the first, second, or third best right-handed hitter that I've ever seen, got his 3,000th career knock over the time that we have not spent any valuable time together here on the hashtag Brothers of Baseball show. And we also talked about Trevor Bauer. We're going to get to that here in just a second because I just read some, not necessarily breaking news, but something that does disturb me. So we're going to get to that here in just a second. Before we move on any further, this second segment, it is being brought to you by the Big Game Christian Sports Network. Alexa tag. Alexa, start BGC Sports Network. It's the BGC Sports Network 1 and BGC Sports Network 2. Follow the BGC Sports Network on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at BGCSN1 and BGCSN2. That's for Twitter. Also, hit that subscribe button on YouTube at BGC Sports Network 1. Click that bell, man, so you guys will get the newest content. Also, do the same for the Shakeback Media Group, as well as follow us on Twitter at Shakeback Media Group and Instagram at Shakeback Media Group. Search for Shakeback Media Group under Mental Health Sports on Roku TV, and you will find us there. All right. I wanted to get back to Trevor Bauer because I think the NFL could and should take some notes from Major League Baseball when it comes down to the penalties and discipline levied by these players that may not be found guilty of any criminal charges. May not even be found guilty of any civil charges, but the contrament that's the detrimental, the personal conduct policy is what I'm trying to say. In all of these sports leagues, man, the NFL, I think they have to be the worst. And say what you will about Trevor Bauer as a pitcher. Say what you will about him as a person. I don't know him. I've never talked to him. Don't know him as a man. Don't know how he is amongst teammates. I do know, or it's been widely speculated or really reported and documented that the Dodgers were not. I mean, the players. I mean, of course, I'm talking about the players, not necessarily the front end or the front office or even middle management for that matter. But the players, they weren't really in his corner when all of this stuff first broke out. So it's crazy because I think that it is important for players to take that type of a stance, especially when it comes to these very, very sensitive social issues that are continually plaguing these professional athletes. And Trevor Bauer, man, he makes over $30 million a year, but crime does pay, man, and he's paying it because he is going to be out for the next 2 years, and that is without pay. But I want to talk about this because I just saw this earlier on Tuesday that even though the suspension has gone forth, he does plan to appeal. Why not? I don't know. I mean, he's not going to be able to play. Nobody's going to. He's not going to play because during an appeal you can still perform. But the report is out that there's now a third woman that is alleging the same type of activity amongst or from Trevor Bauer, rather. I'm sorry. So now you have 1, 2, 3 people. Now, much like it is going on with Deshaun Watson of the Cleveland Browns in the NFL, although his criminal case was dismissed for lack of evidence or not enough evidence, if you will. This guy, I mean, we don't know what the civil part of it is gonna play out. Same with Deshaun, but um, when you have these things, man, that are continually going on, I think that something actually has to be done, and I think Major League Baseball got it right in terms of suspending him for 2 years. Now let's see what kind of precedent. Well, it won't be a precedent, but let's see what kind of reaction we get when Deshaun Watson has his deal go down. So we'll see. All right. Also, I want to get to an umpire by the name of Angel Hernandez. Now, people in baseball lore and people that follow the sport and have for the better part of 20, 25, maybe even 30 years know Angel Hernandez as the umpire that he, let's just say that he pushes the envelope when it comes to balls and strikes, and he is one of the reasons, in my opinion, why Major League Baseball is flirting with this strike zone, this automatic or computerized strike zone, and rightly so. I mean, baseball has done a tremendous job in stepping up their technological game in accordance to what is going on in today's world of athletics. We see it with the NFL, we see it with hockey, we've seen it with the NBA. The NBA, of course, they probably have stepped it up more than anybody else. But Major League Baseball is slowly but surely coming around. But Angel Hernandez, in a game where the Philadelphia Phillies, I think it was the final rubber match of a set against the New York Mets. And Philly slugger Kyle Schwarber was at the plate. He had already had a rough day. But Kyle Schwarber was at the bump, or at the dish rather, and there was a ball that was clearly low and outside. And Angel Hernandez called this dude out. So Kyle Schwarber does what any competitor, well, I shouldn't say with any competitor, but he did what he does. That is, he went ballistic. And I wish I had the video that I could play it for you guys out there. But he was on his way to first base, and when Angel Hernandez called strike three, I mean the the reaction by Kyle was something to behold, something that I've never seen. I've watched this game for a long time. This dude said, "You're high, you're low, you're outside, you don't know what you're doing," and then he was tossed. He was tossed. And Angel Hernandez has he's been, let me, for an umpire, you should remain invisible and unheard, unless you were that dude from back in the day that had that very boisterous and emphatic strike three call at the plate. I can't remember his name. Long time dude. He was a great umpire. But this dude here, he needs to he needs to understand that this game is not about the umpires, it is about the players. And your job is to go out there and call balls and strikes and legislate the rules of the game and not get yourself shown on TV or talked about in the media like I'm doing right now. And he has been the subject, or he has been involved in a myriad of controversial calls in his career. I remember one time, I think it was the Detroit Tigers, and I can't remember what year it was, but this pitcher for the Tigers obviously had a no-hitter going, okay? And the batter was, I mean, the runner was clearly out, clearly, and he called him safe. And this was before instant replay, ladies and gentlemen. So there was no going back and looking at it and overturning it for that pitcher. So that pitcher, I can't remember who he was for the Detroit Tigers, but he lost his bid for a no-hitter. And you know how often those things do not occur. And for that, when you are in, if you are on the bump or on the base pass, or if you are at the dish, and you have Angel Hernandez, man, calling balls and strikes or doing whatever he does when he's not behind the plate, he's going to tell you this. He's going to tell you this, and it's not even fair, funny, or whatever, because that dude is like, yo, if you are expecting for me to give you a call, this is what you got. No chance. No chance. No chance. NHE double hockey sticks. All right. Enough of Angel Hernandez. Enough of Trevor Bauer. Enough of all of that. Because we got something very, very special. We're going to unveil it for the first time this year. And you already know what it is, because it's one of my favorite parts of the show. My former and future co-host, Donnie Epting, man, he used to always tell us that we had to take our vitamins, we had to say our prayers, we had to do our stretches, our exercises, and all that, because it is time for the first power rankings of 2022. Big day, let's go. All right, power rankings, first time of the year, and you know it's going to be a little bit of a twist. Why, do you ask? I'm glad you did so, because as we all know, Major League Baseball, the playoffs and the postseason has expanded to 7 teams rather in each league. So of course, we had to expand our power rankings. So this is what we talk about this. We give the top 7 in the American League, the top 7 in the National League. We talk about the top 14 in Major League Baseball. That sounds funny, y'all. 14. We talk about the top 14. And of course, we got just a bit outside in both leagues. Hashtag Jabo. So without further ado, let's go get it. Big day. Whatever we don't finish on this side of the break, we will come back in the third segment and do over there. So let's get it. My favorite team housed in the American League. So we're going to start there. Top 7. Checking in at number 7, the Houston Astros. Last year's World Series participant, not having that great of a year thus far this year. We know that George Springer is in Toronto. We know that Carlos Correa is in Minnesota. We know that Justin Verlander is back. We know that that their ace behind Verlander is still out. That will be Lance McCullers Jr. So they are sitting at the 6th hole. Number 6, last year's American League East champions, the Tampa Bay Rays, sitting in the 6th hole. Number 5, my choice to win the American League West this year, the Seattle Mariners. Number 4, the aforementioned Minnesota Twins, as Carlos Correa is out there. Now, let me tell you something about the Twins, and one player that we do not talk enough about, and that is Byron Buxton. Byron Buxton is now healthy. He's off the IL. He had a tremendous season last year, cashed in free agency, and he's picked up where he left off. And look, the Twins pushed everything to the table. They pushed everything to the table when they got Carlos Correa over from the Astros. Number 3, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They've surprised, but not really, because we knew that Mike Trout was going to be coming back. We know what Shohei Ohtani is. He won the MVP last year. He very well could be a Cy Young candidate as well. As a matter of fact, if this dude had to pick either or, he would. As a matter of fact, I am banking on Shohei Ohtani to be the first player ever to win the MVP and the Cy Young Award in the same year. Will it happen? I doubt it, but it would be lovely to see. All right, number 2, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the number 1 team in the American League, the New York Yankees. Let's roll this back. Number 7, Houston Astros. Number 6, Tampa Bay Rays. Number 5, Seattle Mariners. Number 4, Minnesota Twins. Number 3, Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Number 2, the Toronto Blue Jays, and the number 1 team in the American League, the New York Yankees. And to be honest with you, I'm not really surprised that the Yankees are here, but I'm kind of surprised that the Yankees are here. They got my boy behind the dish, Jose Trevino, that they got in the trade over from the Rangers. They did ship out Gary Sanchez, who just all of a sudden seemed like he couldn't field or hit. He's now in Minnesota. Garrett Cole, he is not the same Garrett Cole that we know and some of us hate from whenever he was pitching for the Pirates and then doing this thing with the Astros, leading him, of course, to the World Series championship. The baseball grip and the saga behind that has definitely affected him. The Toronto Blue Jays, I expected them to be here. I expected them to be the champions from the division last year, but they are really putting it all together right now, even though young Ryu is still not all the way healthy, but the offense they got with Bichette and Hernandez, who's injured currently, and of course Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who might be the best player in the entire league, not just American League, but majors as well. And then everything else they have going on there as well. All right. Just a bit outside. Hashtag Jabo. Cleveland Guardians, who just swept my Oakland A's. What up, Rachel? What up, Marshawn? What up, Cleveland Kate? What up, Natalie Turk? Boston Red Sox, who have fallen on some very, very hard times here lately. They still have those guys. They got Trevor Story. They still have, of course, Xander Bogaerts. Rafael Devers, man, probably could have won the MVP last year, but their pitching, man, has been their major Achilles heel. And then, of course, I have the Oakland A's in there as well. I'm not really forecasting the A's to be anywhere close to just a bit outside as we go forth, but stranger things have happened in the land of Oakland with baseball, beanball, Billy Bean, and what he does out there. All right, one more time for just a bit outside. That's going to be the Cleveland Guardians. That's going to be the Boston Red Sox, and it's going to be the Oakland A's. All right, let's move it over to the National League. Top 7. Number 7, Miami Marlins. Number 6, St. Louis Cardinals. How about Yadier Molina, man? The old man is still doing it. Nolan Arenado, Paul Goldschmidt, they might be the best first and they may be the two of the better infielders in all of the National League. And of course, man, they got Albert Pujols, who is banking, or he's going to reach another milestone later on in the year. Number 5, we have the San Diego Padres. Number 4, the San Francisco Giants. Number 3, the Milwaukee Brewers. Number 2, the Los Angeles Dodgers. And the number 1 team in the National League, the New York Mets. What up, Mike Martinez? Even without Jacob deGrom, even with sending Robinson Cano down to designated for assignment, DFA, even though he was on the opening day, in the opening lineup, which I still have scratching my head over, but that's what it was. They are the number 1 team in the National League. All right, we're gonna jump ahead real quick and repeat that as we wind down the second segment. For the National League, Miami Marlins, Miami Marlins, St. Louis Cardinals, San Diego Padres, San Francisco Giants, Milwaukee Brewers, Los Angeles Dodgers, and the New York Mets. Come on back on the other side of the break. We're going to get the hashtag Jabba for the National League. We're going to wrap that up. Y'all come on back on the other side of the break and holler at us. Hashtag Brothers of Baseball Show, Willie Epstein Jr. Y'all come on back and holler at us.